Welcome back to Music News TV. This is Tim Hunt and today's music news. Puff Daddy, he had a little good luck, as you know, of the recent times in the last couple of days. The RICO charges that was against him, against his former producer, had been dropped, and that kicked out maybe 5 different charges that he was actually facing. So he had a smile on his face about that. But unfortunately for Puff Daddy, he got a little bit more bad news today. It seems that a Hollywood photographer is pressing charges on him for, I guess, lewd acts or something like about forced sex. I don't know, I forgot the exact legal title, but it's not good at all. This is what's happening here. Apparently, there was a commercial, video set in which this photographer was invited back to Puff Daddy's private trailer. Now the trailers are where, they have most of the people that's in front of the camera or behind the scenes or what have you. They can go into their private quarters until it's time to come back out and finish the shoot, just like a film shoot or TV shoot. Well, this right here was apparently a big commercial. Well, Puff Daddy invited this guy back over there, and this guy says that Puff Daddy had basically told him, well, he unzipped his pants and told this guy, "If you suck it good, I help your career." The guy also said something that was really strange. He said that that Puffy made him make his mouth like a squirrel when he had a mouthful of his semen. Think about that one, okay? So apparently this happened in around 2023, which is basically right, I guess, before he was taken into custody and as you know, he's been in jail. Well, I'm guessing this guy didn't get the success that he thought he was going to get, so he's saying that he was forced into such lewd acts, and he's brought charges on Puff Daddy. Well, this is a tricky one because, if anyone's, accusing anyone of something like that, of course, you want to be, sensitive to those kind of statements. But unfortunately, I have to interject just a little bit there because this guy was pretty quiet for a long time. And I understand that, for such a interesting sexual act, especially if you're not homosexual, the guy claims to be heterosexual, by the way, that he don't want his name to be known or his face to be shown. And he actually pressed charges and he's hiding his identity as well. This don't seem right because if you guys know anything about any type of commercial shoot whatsoever, there's hundreds of people walking around those trailers all the time. You're not going to really have an issue. If someone's doing anything disturbing, you can easily let it be known and you can easily walk up out of there. But it seems like this guy complied from the way it sounds. I'm not sure. Maybe he's not letting go all the details right now. But from the way this sounds on the surface, it sounds pretty skeptical. It sounds like this guy complied with Puff Daddy in hopes of advancing his career. But I hope that's not the case. Who knows? But nonetheless, Puff Daddy's legal team did respond. They said that they're not going to bow down. They have no plans to do so. And they feel this is a frivolous charge. They said this guy is not showing his face or anything like that or letting his name be known. This guy also, they feel like nowadays anybody can pretty much press charges on anybody, and they're gonna fight it. They're saying that they're ready for it, and they're gonna actually fight this right here. So we'll see what happens. To be honest, I think Puffy may have an edge on this particular charge unless something new come out of it. Well, good luck to both parties there. Whoever is telling the truth, I hope they get the victory. Well, also on the music news, Fridayy, if you guys know about Fridayy, that's Fridayy with 2 Y's on the end. He's an R&B singer on Def Jam. He's coming out with a tour. It's going to be about 23 cities there. And he's going a little bit international too. He got some stops, of course. He's going to be in Chicago. He's kicking it off in Maryland on April 25th. I think after a couple of U.S. stops, he's going to be going to Germany. But I do know his last stop is in Paris, France, and that's going to happen around September 22nd there. So this guy's been kind of making a big name for himself. Him and October London actually been the 2 big names in R&B I've been hearing lately. So see if you guys like his show. If you get a chance, go check it out. Okay, also, guess who else got a show coming up? Chris Brown. Chris Brown is our today's Michael Jackson, as some people say. But Chris Brown got a show coming up called the Breezy Bowl. Breezy Bowl 20. That's Breezy Bowl with two X's to represent 20s, right? So it represents 20 years of him being out and about and successful. Now, this right here is not going to be any ordinary tour because guess who else he got coming along with him? You can take a guess on one of them at least. Well, I'll let you guys know that one is Bryson Tiller, the other, Summer Walker. How about that? Well, that's going to kick off on June the 8th. It's going to kick off in Amsterdam. So he's starting out international. They're going to bring it back to the States. He's going to end it in Vegas on September the 20th. And I think it's going to go for about 30 different days so far. He may add more on, who knows. But if you guys get a chance, I heard he got a great show. You know, check out Chris Brown there. And I'm sure you guys are going to be excited for it. And you're going to get your money's worth there. So, also, check this out. Jermaine Dupree. You know Jermaine Dupree been in the news also as of recent times. For nothing bad, really. Just making social comments or what have you in regards to Dawn from En Vogue. But he made another announcement. Now, Jermaine Dupree, I guess he produced this documentary on the famous strip club out of Atlanta called Magic City. Now, Magic City is well-renowned. If you haven't heard about it, I mean, it's still standing today. So I guess if you in the Atlanta area, you have to make do to stop through there and see what everybody's talking about. They're known for their dances, as they say, and good music. A lot of hip-hop artists had their music played there and pretty much launched their new music there. But this story right here is going to be focused on the founder of the place. It's called, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. It's Michael. I can think it'll come to me in a second there. But nonetheless, Michael, the guy that it is serving around, Michael, I think he started this like when he was at a young age. He was a college graduate. I think he went to, I'm not sure what university he went to. I know he went to school. He graduated from school. I think he's from Maryland originally. And he came out to Atlanta and he saw that it was a great marketplace for it because those other strip clubs that he went to, he saw that, you know, if I put my flavor and my touch on this right here, this could be a whole new thing. And that's exactly what he did. I'm sure at one point, you know, strip clubs was not as elevated as it was, you know, at one point until he actually put his touch on it. And as you can see, he's still around to this day because I think he had that around the 80s, like the mid 80s or early 80s. But nonetheless, Jermaine Dupree tells the whole story. It's going to be a 5-part series. Jermaine Dupree actually has showed this at the film festival there. It's called South by Southwest. In Austin, Texas there. And it was picked up by Stars. So Stars going to be debuting it. It's called An American Fantasy. I wrote that down so I didn't want to forget the name. An American Fantasy. The guy by the name is Michael Barney. Mr. Magic, Michael Barney. That's his name. It's going to be about basically him and a lot of the dance that went through there. Now, I remember a long time ago, there was a young lady, I forget her name, she wrote a book. She was one of the top strippers there. And she was telling me some of the stories about some of the people that come to that, some of the clientele. It's a very interesting place to be. I mean, I think a lot of those dancers there got rich or something over time because you have to think, especially like in the 80s and 90s when property value was pretty low in that Atlanta area, and these girls were making some serious cash there. I remember she told me about Bill Gates coming through there. The guy, one of the heroes from Budweiser. He's in there. Some serious billionaires. She was saying that the guy Paul, he was a co-founder of Microsoft. Anyway, he said that guy was strange. He would come through there all the time by himself. Just a very strange guy, and just look at these girls and pay top dollar to just get up out of there. Anyway, that guy had passed away. He was found dead at his home. It was like, I heard real stuff about this guy. He would order like a whole bunch of like food and stuff and say he's having a party and nobody would show up. You know, I don't know, this guy was very interesting. But nonetheless, he died, so rest in peace to him. But yeah, so look out for that Magic City documentary. It's something that I think everybody get a kick out of because it's not only a staple in the Atlanta community, but it is a great success story from what I understand. So I like to see that part in the whole. Memphis rapper, for some bad news here for Big Boogie. Big Boogie, if you guys don't know, his sister was killed in an automobile accident. Now this is kind of strange because it seems that Big Boogie's sister, I think her name is Latasha Woods. She was in the car with a friend of hers, and apparently there was a police chase. The police was chasing up someone else and rammed into her car, killing her, I guess, instantly. And her passenger, another friend of hers that was in the car, lost an arm. So prayers out to those families there. That's everybody that's involved there. There was no word as to whether or not the car that they were chasing, the person got caught with there, but or who that person was and what that was about. But nonetheless, give prayers out to the Memphis rapper Big Boogie there and his family. Okay, now Big Boy out of Atlanta, the ATL, back in the news again, coming out with another album. He putting it together right now. He made the announcement with Killer Mike. So I'm guessing Killer Mike is going to be on the new album there. We hope so. I think that's going to be pretty good. By the way, Jermaine Dupree, we were talking about Jermaine Dupree a little earlier. Jermaine Dupree is doing something real cool also. He picked out 4 students from Emory University, and he's going to bring them on as interns so they can really get a jump start in the entertainment industry. That's a great thing. I was an intern before, and some great things happened from that point on, and I think a lot of people also became interns. That was a great way for them to get their foot in the door and a lot of business that they want to see themselves into. But yeah, those 4 students are at the Emory University. If you guys don't know about Emory University, it's in the Atlanta area. Boy, that is one big university. It's like a city into its own city there. So got to be some smart kids there with some great opportunity with Jermaine Dupree there. So that's it for Music News TV. Check us out for more at musicnewstv.com. And if you like this right here, subscribe and like for more, and I'll be coming back with you with a lot more music news, okay? Thanks a lot for tuning in.